Subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss another video of Bhakti Charu Swami.
Hare Krishna. We start today, as I mentioned, the class will be on 5th canto, 5th chapter, text 1, instruction of Lord or teachings of Lord Rishabh Dev. Who is Lord Rishabh Dev? How many of you know who is Lord Rishabh Dev? How many of you want to know who is Lord Rishabh Dev? Rishabh Dev was an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord has 6 kinds of incarnations, and one of them is Shaktavesh avatar. So Rishabh Dev is a Shaktavesh avatar. Prior to that, we also heard about Lord Kapil Dev, another Shaktavesh avatar. Parashuram, Vasdev, they are all Shaktavesh avatar. The thing about Shaktavesh avatar is they're jivas, but they're empowered by the Lord. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki Jai, Jai Shri Shri Krishna Balaram ki Jai, Jai Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki Jai, Jai Shri Shri Prahlad Nrsimha Dev ki Jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shakti Abesh. Abesh means being induced. Being induced. They become empowered. Lord's energy, Krishna's potency, works through them. And that's why they can do all kinds of inconceivable things, which is otherwise impossible. So another Shaktavesh avatar we can consider very clearly is Srila Prabhupada. What Prabhupada did, can anybody do that? Did anybody do anything like that before? Like goes to America at the age of 70, no money, starts the movement to fulfill the prediction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prithibite ache jato nagaradi gram sarvatra prachar hoibe mor naam. That this Krishna consciousness movement would spread all over the world in every town and village. So these are the examples of Shaktavesh avatar. They do something wonderful, something impossible, something inconceivable. How? By being empowered by the Lord. Does Krishna have any lack of energy? Krishna's potency is unlimited. Krishna can do anything. But sometimes Krishna does something through somebody. And that is a Shaktavesh avatar. So Rishabh Dev's son was, how many sons Rishabh Dev had? He had 100 sons. The first one is Bharat Maharaj. And after Bharat Maharaj, this land has been named as Bharatvarsha. And then he had other 9 sons. They became yogis. They are Navajogendras. Kabi, Habi, Antariksha, Karabhajan, Drumila, etc. So, in this way, and then he had 81 sons became Kshatriyas. 9 became Brahmanas and rest became Kshatriyas. Rishabh Dev, Bharat Maharaj, was the principal one, eldest son. He became the king. And Rishabdev retired from his home and he became an abadhut. But he was, wherever he was going, thousands of people are following him because of his spiritual potency. People could see that here is a very, very exalted spiritual personality. And some people started to imitate Rishabdev. There was a king, his name was Arhat. So he was the king of Kanka and Venka province. And he saw that here is a person, so many people are following him. And I'm a king, nobody follows me. No, I mean, not so many people follow me. So Rishabdev was an abadhut, so he didn't have any external consciousness. He used to move around without any clothes. But there was beautiful fragrance coming from his body. Apparently he didn't have any external consciousness, but because of his spiritual potency, he was effulgent. And that's what people became attracted to. The spiritual potency attracts people. So, and this Arihant. Arihant means one who is subduer of his enemies. And in short, he is called as Arhat. Bhagavatam addressed him as Arhat. So he started to imitate him. And from that started Jainism, imitating imitating Rishabdev. They also move about naked, but the thing is that external imitation doesn't give the internal spiritual message. Anyway, and then later on when Buddhadev came, Lord Buddha came, another person started to act like Lord Buddha, but didn't follow him, but he wanted to. So he followed Arhat, and that is Mahavir. So that's how Jainism became so popular. These are not my message, these are Bhagavatam's message actually. So these are offshoots. Jainism, even Buddhism is an offshoot from Hinduism, Vedic, offshoot of Vedic culture. Anyway, so here is the instruction of Rishabdev. This is the thing. Jains also say that they are followers of Rishabdev. But here's the teachings of Rishabdev. Do they follow that? So that's the thing. Say that they're followers of Rishabdev, then follow. When you say follow, what do you follow? The teachings. Not his external behavior, external activity. Anyway, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Deving Sarasating Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nittang Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki. Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th Canto, Chapter 5, Lord Rishabdev's Teachings, Text 1. Rishabha Ubacha Nayang Deho Deho Bhajam Nriloke Kashtan Kaman Arhate Birbhujang Ye Tapo Divyam Putraka Yena Sattvam Suddhed Jasmad Brahma Saukyam Tu Anantam. Rishabha Ubacha Nayang Deho Deho Bhajang Nriloke. Wait for me to finish. Okay, so I think I should do it with the proper. Nayang Deho Deho Bhajang Nriloke. Kashtan Kaman Arhate Virbhujangje. Tapo Divyang Putraka Yena Satyang Suddhed Yasmad Brahma Saukham Tanantam. Nayang Deho Deho Bhajang Nriloke. Kashtan Kaman Arhate Virbhujangje. Tapo Divyang Putraka Yena Satyam Suddhed Yasmad Brahma Saukham Tanantam. Nayang Deho Deho Bhajang Nriloke. Kashtan Kaman Arhate Virbhujangje. Tapo Divyang Putraka Yena Satyam Suddhed Yasmat Brahma Saukyam Tanantam. Mataji's. Rishabha Ubacha, Lord Rishabdev said, Na, not, Ayam, this, Deha, body, Deho Bhajam, of all living entities who have accepted material bodies. Nriloke, in this world, Kashtan, troublesome, Kaman, sense gratification, Arhate, deserves, Beat Bhujam, of stool eaters, Ye, which, Tapaha, austerities and penances, Divyam, divine, Putraka, my dear sons, Jena, by which, Sattvam, the heart, Suddhet, becomes purified, Jashmat, from which, Brahma Saukhyam, spiritual happiness, Tu, certainly, Anantam, unending. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Lord Rishabdev told his sons, my dear boys, of all the living entities who have accepted material bodies in this world, one who has been awarded this human form should not work hard day and night simply for sense gratification, which is available even for dogs and hogs that eat stool. One should engage in penance and austerity to attain the divine position of devotional service. By such activity, one's heart is purified, and when one attains this position, he attains eternal blissful life, which is transcendental to material happiness and which continues forever. Please repeat after me. Lord Rishabdev told his sons, my dear boys, of all the living entities who have accepted material bodies in this world, one who has awarded this human form should not work hard day and night simply for sense gratification, which is available even for dogs and hogs that eat stool. One should engage in penance and austerity to attain the divine position of devotional service. By such activity, one's heart is purified, and when one attains this position, he attains eternal blissful life, which is transcendental to material happiness and which continues forever. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In this verse, Lord Rishabdev tells his sons about the importance of human life. The word Deho Bhak refers to anyone who accepts a material body. But the living entity who is awarded the human form must act differently from animals. Animals like dogs and hogs enjoy sense gratification by eating stool. After undergoing severe hardships all day, human beings are trying to enjoy themselves at night by eating, drinking, having sex, and sleeping. At the same time, they have to properly defend themselves. However, this is not human civilization. Human life means voluntarily practicing suffering for the advancement of spiritual life. There is, of course, suffering in the lives of animals and plants, which are suffering due to their past misdeeds. However, human beings should voluntarily accept sufferings in the form of austerities and penances in order to attain the divine life. After attaining the divine life, one can enjoy happiness eternally. After all, every living entity is trying to enjoy happiness, but as long as one is encaged in the material body, he has to suffer different kinds of miseries. A higher sense is present in the human form. We should act according to superior advice in order to attain eternal happiness and go back to Godhead. So, Nayang Deho Bhajang Nirake, Kashtan Kaman Arhate Bir Pujang Je, Tapo Dibbang Putraka Yena Satyam, Shuddhed Jas Asmad Brahma Sokham Tanantam. So Lord Rishabdev is instructing his sons before retiring. He called all his sons, and before retiring he is advising them. And this is the advice. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai, Krishna Balaram ki jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki jai, Nrsimha Dev ki jai, Gaur Nitai ki jai. So the first instruction is very important. This is the sum and substance of all his instructions here. And this is the sum and substance of all instructions. Those who have accepted human body, not that every body has to accept a material body. Those who fall down from the spiritual world, they become subjected to material body. And not only that, all the souls have a body. There are many, many souls, those who don't have a body. They're waiting in line to get a body. So get a body in this material nature is very difficult. There are so many souls who are in unconscious state. Like we can even see a seed. Every grain has a soul. Every grain. Every seed has a soul. But are they conscious? No, they are in an unconscious state. In this way, there are so many souls in this material nature, those who are unconscious, those who don't have a body. Now, just as I said, a seed. Most of the grains and seeds are eaten up or wasted. Some seeds fall on the ground. And when they are subjected to proper condition, like if some seeds fall on rocky land, what will happen? Will they germinate? No. Seeds that fall on the soil. Like we notice, like when you go near, especially when you are in a farm, you see so many seeds are falling. Like in America, there are lots of pine trees. And the pine cones, the fruits of pine is cones, pine cones. And in autumn they all fall off. But not that all the pine cones are becoming a tree. Only some become pine trees. Most of them even rot. So you see, like all those fruits have many seeds, and not only pine cone. One pine cone doesn't have only one seed; they have innumerable seeds. But some seeds germinates when they fall on a fertile ground, get proper sunlight, and then get water. Then from the seed comes out a plant. The tree is born. From unconscious stage, tree is born. Right? Also the birds and reptiles, they're laying eggs. The chickens are laying eggs. Those eggs have a soul. They have a possibility of becoming a chicken. But most of the eggs are eaten up by human beings. Right? Most of the chicken that lay, the eggs they lay, not that all the eggs are germinate. Then another type of living entity is Jodayuja, from embryo. In the semen of a man, there are millions of sperms, and each sperm has a possibility of becoming a body. But out of million, rarely one or two gets an opportunity. So we can see, even to get any body, whether it's a tree body, plant body, insect body, reptile body, bird body, animal body, or human body, just to get a body in this material nature is so difficult. And then, as I said, there are so many different types. Jalaja Navalakshani. There are 20 million varieties of aquatics underwater. In water, there are 2 million Navalakshani. 900,000 species. Sthavara Lakshavinshati. Trees and plants are 20 lakhs or 2 million. Then Krimaya Rudra Shankhaka. The worms and insects, 11 lakhs. And 10 lakhs is animals. And 4 lakhs are human beings. So total is 8.4 million. 8.4 million species of life. Churashi Laksha. Now, and so out of 8,400,000, only 400,000 are human beings. Now there are different levels of consciousness. The trees and plants are conscious, but their consciousness is covered. Then insects to animals, they're conscious, but their consciousness is shrunken. They're conscious, but it's not really properly manifest. Then the human beings. Human consciousness is also shrunken, like animals. But the human being has the ability to expand his consciousness. That is the wonderful possibility of a human being. They can expand their consciousness. Like trees and plants are hardly conscious. Insects and worms, little more conscious. Animals are little more conscious. But can the animals expand the consciousness? Maybe to some extent. Like we see a monkey rides a bicycle. Or an elephant can be trained. Dogs can be trained. Horses can be trained. But can they think about higher objectives of life? And what is the higher objective of life? Higher objective of life is to transcend the material platform. Brahma Saukyam. So that's what Rishabdev is saying. That, okay, you got a human form of life. Now, as a human being, are you going to act like an animal? Meaning, are you going to behave like an animal? What is the animal propensity? Ahara nidra bhaya maithunancha. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Should that be the purpose of human life? And he's saying that these eating, sleeping, mating, defending, these enjoyments are there in animal form also. Now, should that be the goal of human life? So, and they're saying that there should be tapodibyam. Tapo means voluntary acceptance of suffering. There is suffering. Material life is full of suffering. Whether we want it or not, it will come. Who wants to become sick? Who wants to become sick? Nobody wants to become sick. But he is forced to become sick. Who wants to become old? Here most of you are young, so you do not know what old age is like. When an elderly person, one devotee was preaching to an elderly person. So this elderly person asked him, "Do you know what Prabhupada did?" He said, "Yes, I know what Prabhupada did," the devotee said. He said, "No, you don't know what Prabhupada did. In order to understand what Prabhupada really did, you have to become 70 years old. Then only you will know what 70-year-old means." Being 70-year-old means body is aching, legs are wobbling, head is spinning, memory is lost. So that is old age. So what Prabhupada did, properly understand what Srila Prabhupada did, what Prabhupada achieved, we have to realize what it is to become 70 years old. So at the age of 70, he went to America. Who wants to go to and total uncertainty at such an old age? So that's what old age is. The suffering, disease is suffering. There is a Bengali poetry, I'm just trying to remember. It says, "Ki jatona bishe, buchi beshe kishe, kobhu oshi bishe, dongshe nijare." What kind of pain is there in poison? How will one ever understand the pain of being bitten by a snake who hasn't been bitten by a snake? A person who has been bitten by a snake, he knows how painful. I remember once my elder brother got stung by a scorpion. And I could see, like the way he was reacting. Crying, jumping, like so painful. So if the sting of a scorpion can be so painful, we cannot even imagine how painful it is to be bitten by a snake. The poison goes into the body. And one dies. So, the material life is full of suffering. We do not want it, but it's bound to come. It will come. It will come. Although we don't want to die, we have to die. And everything will be finished. Can you imagine how painful it is? Sometimes we lose something. And how do you feel? You can't find your mobile phone. How do you feel? Or your something got stolen, your bag got stolen. How do you feel? That is how you feel when you are losing just one thing. Now can you imagine at the time of death, you have to lose everything. Everything. So how are you going to feel at that time? And what to speak of the physical pain? Have you ever tried not to breathe? Close your mouth and nose 1 minute. How do you feel after that? And at that time we won't be able to breathe. At least when we close our mouth and nose for 1 minute or 2 minutes, then after that we can breathe. But at that time we won't be able to breathe at all. So this is how the soul will leave the body. So this is how painful the materialistic life is. Suffering. But Rishabdev is suggesting another kind of suffering. Voluntary suffering. Voluntary suffering. Spontaneous. We decide, no, we won't do that. We won't do that. And that is called austerity. When that voluntary suffering is accepted, when difficulties are accepted voluntarily to achieve something higher, that is called austerity. And in order to pursue spiritual life, people used to voluntarily accept austerities. People used to go to the Himalayas, go to the dense forest, no food to eat, no place to sleep. They used to voluntarily accept that for the sake of spiritual advancement. Like Rishabdev's eldest son, Bharat Maharaja. Rishabdev himself left everything. He was a king. Left everything one day. Okay, walked away. Meaning, no place to sleep, no food to eat. There was no guarantee whether any food will come. Going to the deep forest. And you go to the Himalayas, it's all covered with ice. And they voluntarily accept that, the yogis. That is called austerity or tapasya. Tapo divyam. Divyam, for this divine austerities, for spiritual advancement. In Krishna consciousness also we are expected to accept austerity. And what is our austerity in Krishna consciousness? No meat. Big deal. It's not saying no food, but we are saying no meat. But the food that we get is beyond anybody's imagination. Our prasad, Krishna prasad, is inconceivably delicious. No intoxication. In the beginning it was probably difficult. Even to give those who are meat eaters, to give up meat was difficult initially. After all, they're used to that taste. Used to that taste. Meat, fish. Like people can't give up, even onion. So many times you ask the question, onion, why do we have to give up onion? It's vegetable. So I tell them that anything that is vegetable that doesn't mean that we have to eat it. There are some plants which is poisonous. Do we make a sabji out of those plants? Like datura. There are some fruits that are poisonous. Do we eat them like datura? There are so many such fruits which are poisonous. Do we eat them, although they are fruits? We don't. Similarly, onions and garlic, why don't you eat? The effect is bad. The onion and garlic takes us to the mode of passion and ignorance. It increases passion and ignorance. So these difficulties are there. But why are we giving it up? For spiritual advancement. Because we want to make spiritual advancement. Intoxication is difficult. Those who are addicted to drinking alcohol, it's very difficult for them to give up alcohol. Those who are addicted to even smoking cigarette, it's very difficult to give up cigarette. Those who are addicted to drinking tea, many people, tea and coffee, that's one of the most difficult thing for the Indians to give up. But we give up. Because we want to make spiritual advancement, and those activities are detrimental. Similarly, people are attracted to sex life. Give up for higher advancement. People are addicted to gambling. Give up for higher spiritual advancement. So that is tapo divyam. Divine austerities for spiritual advancement. So those who want to, so what we are saying, that those who want to make spiritual advancement, they have to give up animalistic propensities. This life is not meant for just eating, sleeping, mating, defending. This life is for some higher purpose, to achieve some higher purpose. And what is that higher purpose? Brahma Saukhyam. To achieve devotional service to the Lord for spiritual enjoyment, to experience spiritual happiness. By such activity, meaning by this divine austerity, one's heart is purified. What is the result of what is the result of giving up meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex, gambling? What is the result? Purification of heart. The heart becomes purified. And when the heart becomes purified, then one can experience the joy of devotional service. As long as the heart is contaminated, then we won't be able to experience the joy of Krishna consciousness. In order to experience the joy of Krishna consciousness, the heart needs to be purified. And that's why Chetodarpana Marjanam, chanting the holy name. What is the chanting of the holy name do? What will it do? Purify the heart. Chetodarpana Marjanam. Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. Then the suffering condition, which is compared to burning in a forest fire. Nirvapanam, extinguished. No more suffering. That is a just immediate result or preliminary result of devotional service. Bhakti. Bhakti, Brahmanda Brahmite Kono, Bhagyavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai, Bhakti Lata Bij. When you get that Bhakti Lata Bij, what should we do? Plant it. But in order to plant, we have to purify, we have to prepare the land. If the field is full of rocks, will that seed fructify? No. So we have to prepare the field. How do we prepare the field? The preparation of the field means purification of the heart, because that is where Bhakti Lata is planted. Purification of the heart. And that's why we need to chant the holy name. Chetodarpana, and chanting the holy name will Chetodarpana Marjanam. The heart will become purified. By following these 4 regulative principles, the heart will become purified. And when the heart is purified, and in that purified heart, when Bhaktilata Bij is planted, then it will sprout. into a seedling. When the seedling comes, when the seed becomes a seedling, what happens? First it has two leaves. Any tree, you can see any. When it comes out, there are two leaves. So when Bhaktilata sprouts, when the bij, the seed sprouts, then there are two things that appear immediately, two leaves. And those two leaves are Kleshagni, Shubhada. Kleshagni, no more suffering, no more klesha. Klesha means suffering, no more suffering. And Shubhada, all auspiciousness. So these are the the preliminary result of the fructification of Bhaktilata Bij. So immediately we'll experience the result, provided the heart is properly prepared. If the heart is full of dirt, if the heart is like Jadashmasaram, Asmasharam, there is another example given in that respect, that when the heart is covered with steel frame, so how will the Bhaktilata Bij approach the field of the heart? Or the heart is full of rock, the field is full of rocks. How will the seed fructify? So we have to prepare the field, get rid of this coarseness, the hardness of the heart. And the worst of them all is envy. That's the last one. Lust, greed, anger, illusion, pride, and envy. These are the 6 impurities in the heart. But when we cheto itai ranabiddhang sthitang shatte prashidati. This last greed, anger, etc., they're the results of mode of passion and ignorance. Tada rajas tamo bhava kama lobha dayashchaje cheto etai anabiddhang. Kama lobha dayashchaje. Kam, last, lob is greed. Adayo. Adaya means etc. Last, greed, etc. That's illusion, envy, pride. Cheto etoir anabiddham. These are the results of passion and ignorance. Rajos tamo bhava. But when they are, when do they become unaffected by these impurities of the heart? When they are destroyed or removed, cleansed. Tada rajos tamo bhava. Kama lobha dayashchaje. But the impurities will be removed. Cheto etoir anabiddham sthitang shatte prashidati. When one becomes situated in the mode of goodness, by being situated in the mode of goodness, these impurities of the heart will be cleansed. So that is how these austerities bear the desired result. Yes, spiritual life is full of austerity. Not only the 4 regulative principles, fast on Ekadasi day. Of course, nowadays it's not a fast. Ekadasi has become a feast, the day of feasting. But try to become serious in spiritual life. Fasting means fasting. Not just abstain from grains. That is, those who cannot fast, for them this is no grain. But what is expected is to fast. So make it a point to fast. Don't make Ekadasi a big day for non-grain feast day. So accept voluntary austerities. Similarly, fasting on Janmashtami, fasting on Gaur Purnima. So these are voluntarily accepted, or they should be voluntarily accepted. And then one will make spiritual advancement. So it's a beautiful instruction by Rishabh Dev, who is an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And these instructions should be accepted with the right spirit. Hare Krishna. Does anybody have any question? I thought as well, Bibhu Chaitanya sitting there, but he sends a written message. Okay. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. What should we do to remain prepared to face the trouble of imminent old age? Grow old gracefully. Grow old. When you're old, become old. When you're old, don't try to become young. But that's what has happened. Like I may have mentioned, one of my doctor disciple once mentioned that his observation is that people spend their youth trying to earn money. And then when they grow old, they spend that money to get back their youth. So when you are young, be youthful, utilize your youth in a proper way. And then only when you grow old, you'll be able to accept old age with the right spirit. Main consideration is this body is not meant for enjoyment. Don't try to enjoy through the senses of this body. Rather, use this body's facilities for spiritual advancement. Then you'll never grow old. Get the point? Then you'll never grow old. Did Prabhupada grow old? No. Prabhupada didn't grow old in the sense, even few days before leaving his body, his body he couldn't move. We had to help him to just turn to his sides. He was translating Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is the way to conquer the needs of the body. This body will grow old, but the soul is eternally youthful. So if you become situated in your spiritual identity, then there is no old age. When you become situated in your spiritual identity, there is no death. The body will die, but you won't. This body may grow old, but you won't. You will always remain youthful when you become properly situated in spiritual life. All right? So, yes?
Guru Maharaj, my question was, when the seed is there, the soul comes when it germinates, or let's say if it's after 1 year, 2 years, it's germinating?
No, the soul is there already. Soul is in a dormant stage in the seed. But when it germinates, then the soul becomes awake or conscious. All right. Okay, so thank you all very much. Oh, you have a second question. Okay, let's see. If for Lord Brahma and Hiranyakashipu, the prefix Shri is used, then why not for Lord Rishabdev? Why are you asking this question? You mean Lord Rishabdev's teachings? You because the prefix Lord is there, indicating that he is an incarnation.
In the words Vishnu Maharaja, back in the fifth canto, the beginning of the fifth canto,
Yeah.
Actually, she has been used to indicate the personality is great, particularly. But Rishabdev, no Shri.
In a similar note, you can say that sometimes you are addressed as Sri Vibhu Chaitanya. Right? So why not? You see, sometimes the Sri is indicated even for ordinary living entities. So it's not so important. What is important is factually recognize who that person is. When we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we are not saying Shri Hare, Shri Krishna, Hare Krishna, very Shri. So these honorary prefixes are not so important. Hare Krishna, so already 9:05. So this evening also I'll do Kirtan. So because I just realized from tomorrow the treatment will start. I'll see how I feel. And sometimes I may even come in the evening. Hare Krishna, Gaur Premanand. And this evening I'll be there, especially for Vandita Radhika's birthday celebration. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Come, Abhay.